Hey guys, welcome back to another episode of Bubbly and Blazers, the podcast where we pop bubbles and pop bottles, sorry, well, both, why not? And break down the business of life, one bold conversation at a time.
Yeah, so whether you're here for the business tips, the real talk, or just the bubbly vibes, you are in the right place. And today we have something special lined up.
It's pretty exciting. We're joined by a total powerhouse, Kaleigh Hole, founder of Soul to Summit Orthotics, a custom orthotics clinic based in the
Rosalind.
Kootenays, Rossland. And it's just changing the way that people move, literally from the ground up. And it's a brand new business. So we're really excited to talk to Kaleigh and listen all about her journey.
Yeah,
Thanks for
not
having me.
yay,
Yay!
welcome.
First guest.
Yay.
Maybe Kaylee, why don't you start us off by just telling us a little bit about yourself and your business?
All the way from the back end, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, from the
Yeah.
start.
Let's pretend this is a job interview. Tell us about yourself.
It's been a while since I've had
I know.
yeah, I'm Kaylee. Yeah, I grew up in Manitoba. I went to school in Ontario. Long story short, I grew up skating and was a big part of my life, and then track, and then all the sports. So then kind of shifted out west after COVID hit. I've worked for a couple companies as a pedorthist. So I became a pedorthist in my wall say 2017. And then, so it's been almost 8 years. And then,
Maybe, Kaylee, can you touch on just quickly what a pedorthis is for those who might not know?
Mm.
ooh, yeah. So a pedorthist is a foot specialist, basically, specializing in lower limb biomechanics, custom foot orthotics, footwear modifications, lower limb bracing, kind of anything from the ground up, like you mentioned. So our focus is on the kinetic chain, how the ground reacts with us. Yeah, so that's
Cool.
kind of what we do. A lot of gait analysis stuff. So it can go from like athletes, skiers to diabetic foot care, kind of all in that. So it's a very broad thing, but yeah, it's a really rewarding job. So
Amazing. And before I interrupted you, you were about to say kind of after working as a pedorthist for a little while, what kind of came next for you?
yeah, so then in I guess September of 2024, I left my previous workplace,
Hmm.
which all of us ladies were at one point, which is super fun.
Yes.
Yes.
Um, and then in October of 2024, I opened up Soul to Summit Orthotics in Rossland, and here we are.
I love it.
Wow, super exciting. What a big jump, and congratulations on making that move.
Yeah.
What's it been like, Kaylee, to step into leadership and build your own brand at this point in time?
It's been very fun and stressful and exciting and scary all at the same time, which I totally prepared myself for. So I don't think it's come to a surprise. It's just dealing with all the ups and downs and having to problem solve a lot more, which is, again, kind of what I was looking for. I wanted that kind of excitement in my life more with work. So it's been good. Just, yeah, learning lots.
Did
Amazing.
you think when you started out or were going through school that you would own your own business one day?
Yeah, that was the plan. I think, I don't know if it was in a course or something through it, but they kind of mentioned that that was an option. And even getting my first job and things and where certain salaries could go, I knew like I probably would want to own my own business if you're going to make it. Like there is kind of a
Mhm.
cap to what you can kind of pay an employee, or at least at the time. So
Right.
I had planned eventually, but I wanted to make sure I like knew all the skills and I worked for smaller businesses, which was nice because then I got to learn those things. So it was, yeah, it was the plan kind of principle.
Amazing. Well, congratulations on achieving another one of your dreams then.
Thank you.
Yay.
Can
I'm
you,
curious. Oh, go ahead.
yeah, sorry, I'm curious as well about
Oh.
your first 6 months of business and kind of comparing it to where you're at today.
Yeah, I guess I'm at yeah like 8 7 8 months or so
Yeah.
now. Yeah, yeah, I mean, starting like you're getting like your business license, your number, your like website, everything going. So I think at the start it was just a lot to figure out. and you're kind of just not guessing, but educated guessing from people and kind of organizing it that way, or just trying to figure out your organization. And then getting clients to like actually make money from it. So a lot of it's just that at the start. So at least now I feel like my processes are pretty in place or more in place. And then like how my day is kind of organized and that sort of thing is a lot better now, which should be, I guess, the point. But yeah, so I think that's really nice. And now I can focus more on actually like marketing and getting myself clients and then being a pedorthist versus being my bookkeeper and all those things, which I do all of it. So yeah, it's just a one woman show in this place. So I do all of it, but at least I kind of understand things a bit more now.
Did you find in that initial period, like it sounds like there's so much to learn and there's so much that you have to do all right at the start. Did you have any like mentors or people that you could lean on, or like where did you find your information to figure out kind of that path forward in those first few months?
Mm-hmm. I've been lucky. I have a lot of women entrepreneurs in my life, which has been nice. And then some people that I know, like pedorthists that have opened up their own companies. So I chatted with them in the last kind of year of me deciding I wanted to do my own thing. Before I kind of went for it, just chatted with how they did it, what were like the main expenses, what were like their biggest issues with running their business and starting. So then I had some realistic expectations and if I thought it was worth it, and just hearing how their life is compared to working for someone. And so I still talk to them a lot because now I'm one of them and we all kind of collaborate, which is really exciting. And a lot of it's just kind of you got to go for it. Yeah. So I just talking with people is the biggest thing. I think from other people's experiences. So, and some of my old bosses or old coworkers, it's been really nice. So yeah.
Yeah, just taking the leap. Would you say, like, for those listening who maybe, are in a position that you were, where they're working for a company, but maybe they know that one day they want to own their own business, or maybe it's something they're starting to think about, what was like a deciding factor for you to make that leap and take that jump? Like you said, that's a big move, bold move. And I don't know if you touched on it, or maybe I'm sharing too much, but not only did you start a business, but you also moved cities in the same at the same time. Like that's a pretty, like, let's not underestimate how big of a move that is and how incredible that is, a testimony to how strong you are as a person and a professional, really. What was it that really kind of made that decision for you so clear as to what you want to do?
Yeah, that's very kind of you. um, I think there's a lot of different aspects of it. I think I always thought I wanted to open my own business, just didn't know the time of it. I also coach figure skating. And then, so I was like, if I can open my own business and also do that, that's an awesome thing. And an opportunity came up for that in this town. I think it just turned into like lifestyle a little bit too. And then like income, like I truly was like, this is all I'm going to probably make at this company. You need to make more. It's just, it kind of is what it is. I want more than 2 weeks of vacation a year. So it was just those accumulative things kind of thinking about that. I'm like, I do have control of that if I could do my own thing. I think, or if it was successful. So it was kind of like, that's like the long-term plan. So I need to do that, kind of sooner than later when I thought I was ready to make the jump. Which yeah, it's still scary, but I think just looking forward like 5-10 years where I'd want to be and having to do it now.
Good for you.
Yeah.
What would you say is the most important thing you've learned so far? Maybe from yourself going through this experience, or maybe from some of these mentors that you mentioned before?
I think it's just like having support, and like being able to like have people to ask questions, and whether that's like family, friends, other pedorthists, just other business people that might not be, like obviously I'm in healthcare, but it might be just a completely different business, but just someone else running their own business you can ask questions about or ask questions to. I think that's the biggest thing because we don't know a lot of things. I didn't take a business course. I have no idea a lot of those things. And I don't want to pretend I know how to do those things because I think that's where you can really get yourself in trouble. So having the people being able to ask questions and find those things out is probably the biggest thing I've learned, and not like just try to do all of it on your own. Even though I am doing it all on my own, but like you're truly not. So I'm very grateful for that. I have a really good support system, which is probably the biggest thing. So if someone were to do it, like having that is like pretty huge.
How have you
Incredible.
found, do you find it hard to ask for help? Or I feel like as women, maybe, and maybe I'm generalizing here, like we're
Hmm.
very much like we'll just do it ourselves or we'll figure out a way to do it. And sometimes it's hard to accept help. So you mentioned that being a big part of it or something that you've learned. How are you in kind of adapting to be able to do that? Have you found any kind of like ways to make that easier on yourself or strategies?
Yeah, I think I should probably ask for a lot more help, but
Yeah.
but we try it and then you're like just, like it's just not going anywhere or whatever and you're like, okay, like it's time.
Hmm.
Um yeah, it's not easy. I mean, I've joined some business groups. I just took like
Hmm.
a women in business 3-week course. That was awesome. So I think just like putting yourself in situations where you see other people asking a lot more and like trying to help their business, you're like, oh yeah, why am I not why am I not having these discussions more with people? So I think just seeing other people do it, that it makes you realize it. Um,
Right, because like being your own, solopreneur, like you're spending a lot of time on your own and like figuring things out. And maybe sometimes you forget that one of the big things about working for a company or corporation is that you have other people to lean on and you have a team around you. And,
Hmm.
I think what you said is right. Like it probably gets very easy to get caught up in the everyday and forget that there still are people out there that can support you and help you and that you aren't truly doing it completely alone. So I really like that point.
yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Love it.
If you could go back to like the very first day that you started, you're still so new, but is there one thing that you do differently or something that you would change from how you began?
Yeah, I don't know. Like I feel like I'm still like not old enough of a business owner in business to say what I would change, which maybe is a good thing so
Hmm.
far. Like there hasn't been anything that's come up that's like, oh shoot, that was a really big, mistake or whatnot.
Yeah.
Lots of little things and but I think if I had done it, started last October or this October, I think so far I would have done the things that kind of the exact same because you're kind of just diving in and learning as you go. So I think,
Yeah.
yeah, I mean, I could have, yeah, I don't like a lot of little things, but I don't know.
Yeah. I think
I'll have
that's
I
a
think
good
that's,
sign, like you said.
yeah,
yeah,
I'd
that's
have
a
a
great
better
answer.
answer maybe in a year from now. I
We'll have
think,
Well,
you back.
this is how she's securing her spot next time.
We're gonna
yeah,
need an update.
Stay
yeah,
tuned for the follow-up on Soul to
yeah,
Summit.
yeah. We'll see how she goes. Yeah, and yeah, and maybe it's like maybe I should have taken more risks earlier, and then maybe we'd be further along at this point. But again, then that's a whole other thing. So I think, yeah, so far, I think I'm okay with where we're at and how I started so far.
Awesome. And it sounds like you did a lot of research, so that kind
Mhm.
of, I think that's always helpful to having a good start. So we took it back. We're gonna take it forward now, and we're gonna ask you what's next, for your business and kind of what's your next biggest goal that you want to achieve business wise.
Make more money.
Yay!
Amen.
Yeah. Yeah, no, so yeah, it's obviously just myself and I have like my lab. So as a pedorthist, we can make the orthotics and mattify. So usually we have like a lab in a separate spot than our assessment room. I got very lucky with where I'm at. I'm renting a room in a multidisciplinary clinic. So there's like physios, orthopedic surgeon, massage, chiro all here, which is awesome. It's just a really small room with my lab stuff in the assessment room. So
Mm,
eventually, which at the end of the year, there's a space open downstairs that I can have those two things separate, which then I just have more space, which will be really nice. Um, and then hopefully I can have like more off the shelf products. I have some now, but hopefully I can expand on that. I just have no more room. I would love, because I'm in the Kootenay, so in a small town, a lot of small towns travel to me, which is great. I would love to travel to them a little bit more if I can. So some satellite clinics would be awesome, which would be wonderful. And yeah, hopefully busy enough to maybe eventually have a staff, but that's a long time away. We'll see.
yay.
So
Wow.
yeah,
Sound like good goals to me. I love that.
yeah,
That's so
we'll see.
exciting.
Yeah.
Before we wrap up, we want to ask our guests a fun little question to shift the energy from being focused on business to something a little bit more fun and light. So we do a segment called Pop the Bubbly or Pour It Out. And we're going to ask you a question, and you just have to tell us, would you pop the bubbly, as in, yay, go for it, or pour it out, as in, nah,
No.
skip it? So, a question for you, Kaleigh, is working on vacation, pop the bubbly or pour it out? So, is bringing your laptop to the beach smart multitasking and making use of your time, or are we canceling that altogether?
Pouring it out.
Good answer. Fantastic answer.
Great answer, especially as we're in summer. I feel like, yeah, we need to enjoy our time away from the office.
Yeah. It's hard to like I think part of like me personally, I'm like, "Oh, I'll bring it. I'll do some work." It's like that's never gonna happen. So you might as well just pour it right out.
It's hard because I have like, yeah, my phone is like my work phone too.
Mm.
And I also like to not look at work emails on it. Like I see them and I'm like, oh, it's Saturday at 7 p.m. Like, no, like Monday. Yeah, it's hard, certain things, but yeah, for
Boundary queen.
boundaries.
Yes, love it.
So impressed. All right. Well, thank you so much for joining us today, Kaleigh. Loved getting to chat with you and catch up and hear all about what you're doing lately. It's so amazing and so inspiring. So
Thanks for having me. And same with the podcast. So fun. You
thanks.
ladies are doing great. Yeah. Like,
Yay.
thank you so much.
Kayleigh's been one of our listeners right from the start, so we couldn't think of a better guest to have to kick things off here. So we really appreciate that. And for those listening, make sure you check out Kayleigh's business page. We'll tag it in the comments and on our Instagram and on TikTok. So her business, again, Sold to Summit Orthotics. We'll drop that link in the notes, but give her a follow, book a consultation if you're in the Kootenays, or just reach out to say hey. She's an absolute powerhouse, and no doubt she's going to do some pretty incredible things out there. So,
And
thank
she
you
said
again.
she's getting on the marketing train. So, give her a follow.
This
There
is
we
Who
true.
go.
knows? Some good content could be coming your way.
Fun footsteps.
I love it. Okay, well, as always, thank you so much for listening to Bubbly and Blazers. Don't forget to subscribe, leave a review, share this episode with a woman or anybody in your life who is getting ready to build something big and bold as well, just like Kaleigh. So until next time,
Cheers.
cheers.